The UK property market isn't facing a crisis, it's facing a coup. The system is being actively re-engineered right now to do one thing: destroy the middle class and funnel all assets into the hands of the elite. Every day, the news screams doom and gloom: interest rates, rent controls, stamp duty hikes, a budget next month that is threatening to bring the UK economy to its knees. They are using phrases like, "It's too hard," "property is dead," and "the smart money is leaving." But let me tell you what is actually happening behind the curtains, and why this story is one of the biggest betrayals of the working person in a generation. We are watching a deliberate financial culling, where the wealthy get richer by legally taxing your assets from you. The sheer hypocrisy and cynicism of this plot are absolutely staggering, and if you don't act now, you will be on the wrong side of history. You need to know the real playbook before you become another casualty. You are being deliberately misled by the very people who stand to profit from your financial confusion. If you want the uncensored truth about how the wealthy are operating, how they are protecting their millions, and how you can join them in building your financial ark against this coming storm, then you need to be here. Hit that subscribe button now and join the few who are finally waking up to the truth. The general narrative is absolutely toxic for the small-time landlord. They are terrified. We're talking about the Renters Reform Bill, looming national insurance for private landlords, and taxes that are whacking people out of the game. They are panicking, they are selling, and they are telling everyone property is no longer viable. That's the media story. Now, let's talk about reality. If you want to know what the truly smart money is doing, you don't listen to the BBC, you go to an auction. And what you find there is shocking. Property auctions, both online and in person, are scenes of absolute financial aggression. Investors are competing fiercely, submitting offers that are miles above the asking price, gazumping one another, and closing deals in cash with ruthless efficiency. The prices at these auctions are holding or even rising for the right assets. So, who are these buyers? Are the small landlords exiting, or are they aggressively building? The bizarre answer is both. The small guy is fleeing the fire, but the big players are charging straight into the flames to claim the spoils. The middle ground, you, are being economically squeezed out of existence, but a specific, powerful group is lining up to seize those very assets. So, who is buying? It's the names you hear whispered at the highest levels of finance, the entities who view UK residential housing as a protected, high-yield asset class. We're talking about BlackRock, major pension funds, private trusts, and the huge banks like Lloyds. We're talking about foreign sovereign wealth funds, the big oil owners from Abu Dhabi, and other vast pools of global capital that have decided UK property is the safest place to dump their money. Why? Because they know the coming legislation doesn't apply to them. They are buying up entire residential developments and streets, not as individuals, but as corporate enterprises. Bill Gates owns more land in America than any other individual. It's not for a hobby, it's because land and property are the ultimate, hard asset store of wealth. When small landlords exit, they create a perfect environment for the rich to consolidate power and ownership. The rich wish they could take property from you, but since they can't, they just tax it from you. The game is rigged, but the cheat code is simple: operate as a massive corporation, and all your problems disappear. And the biggest trick they use is Section 24. Section 24 is not a mistake, it is an intentional financial weapon aimed squarely at the individual property owner. This truly devastating tax, sneaked in by the conservatives, and don't be fooled, it's all the same elite people pulling the strings, stripped away your ability to claim mortgage interest payments as a legitimate business expense. Think about that for a second. In any other business, a shop, a factory, a consultancy, you only pay tax on the profit left after your expenses. If your rent income is £1,000 and your mortgage interest is £800, your actual profit is £200. But Section 24 forces you to pay tax on the full £1,000 turnover, pushing many small-time landlords from a tiny profit into a significant loss. It is a grotesque mockery of business practice. It forces individuals who own property in their personal name or as sole traders to sell because they are literally making money and still losing it to the government. Meanwhile, if you own that exact same property under a company structure, which is what the banks, BlackRock, and all the elite trusts do, Section 24 is totally irrelevant. they still claim their interest as an expense and pay tax only on their profit. It's not a secret, it's an open declaration of war on the middle-class dream of using property to build a secure future. But wait, the final assault is still coming. If Section 24 was a gut punch, the next budget is set to deliver the final knockout blow to what little remains of the independent property owner. We are about to see new taxes that will make property ownership completely unsustainable for the average person. First, the introduction of national insurance for landlords. NI is traditionally an employee tax. The government is planning to slap an 8% NI charge on private landlords. Can we just talk about how messed up this is? Right now, you pay over 11% stamp duty surcharge for a second property. That's £11,500 on a £200,000 house, money you cannot add to your mortgage, an instant 20% drain on your deposit. Then you pay capital gains tax up to 28% when you sell. Then you pay income tax and Section 24 while you rent. And now, they want to add national insurance on top. You will be paying the government for the privilege of owning a property and renting it out, forcing you to make nothing, or less than nothing. But that's not all. The biggest assault on the self-starter is the proposed drop in the VAT threshold from £90,000 down to £30,000. Why is this so devastating? Because many small landlords have switched to service accommodation, like Airbnb, to bypass bad tenants and make better returns. You could be making £3,000 a month turnover, paying your rent, and pocketing a nice profit without VAT. This new threshold is an attack on the struggling hairdresser, the small bakery, and the tiny service accommodation entrepreneur. Every small business doing more than £30,000 in turnover, not profit, will be clobbered with VAT. Do you think Premier Inn and the massive corporate serviced accommodation companies, who already pay VAT, like being undercut by you? No. So the government, under the guise of fairness, steps in to protect the corporate giants and eliminate your competition. It is economic warfare disguised as political reform. Let's talk about the wealth tax. It's been talked about by commentators like Gary Stevenson from Gary Economics as a way to hit the billionaires. The idea sounds great, those with hundreds of millions should finally pay their share. But the tax they are actually introducing is a Trojan horse. It won't hit the multi-billionaires who own their assets through offshore trusts and complex company structures. Do you know who they're going to hit? The middle class. They are floating a wealth tax on properties valued at £500,000 or more, where you have to pay 0.5% of the entire value to the government every single year just for owning your house. This is what will make the middle class extinct. Now, here's the most cynical part. This new tax is likely going to replace stamp duty. Stamp duty is one of the few taxes that even the massive institutional buyers, BlackRock, the big trusts, don't particularly like paying. So, they say, let's abolish stamp duty, which is great for them because they save millions on acquisitions. But in its place, they bring in a yearly wealth tax that only applies to people who own property in their personal name. The individual homeowner has to pay the 0.5% tax every year forever, but the corporate giant gets to buy properties tax-free. They are clearing the path for the wealthy to consolidate ownership while setting a permanent yearly tax trap for the hard-working individual. It is a complete, undeniable, and rigged setup designed by the elite, and anyone like Keir Starmer heading it up is nothing more than a puppet. The scam runs deeper than property, it's an emotional betrayal of our children's future. The entire education system is a mockery designed to keep you poor, compliant, and working for the banks. I had to pull all my kids out of school because I could see the brainwashing happening right in front of me. They are teaching my children to become slaves. Do as we say, don't argue, don't copy other people. The system is designed to create employees, not entrepreneurs. Look at university. You go and spend £40,000 on student debt to study business from a guy who has never run a business. That's the real fake guru. You get clapped for going to university, but 84% of law graduates, for example, never become lawyers. Yet, if you come to a guy like me who has built a multi-million-pound property portfolio and has a proven system, people say, oh, be careful. That's unregulated. Do you know what they called me doing business when I was 16? I was paying a girl named Chelsea in my class to do my homework. The school called my mum in for cheating. I call that business. Chelsea now works for me. I pay her to do my work. Is that cheating? No. It's how the entire business world operates. But they teach you to work alone, fear mistakes, and accrue debt. It is a system built to keep you from financial independence, also the banks can use your savings to get richer. This is the boiling of the frog happening now. 50 years ago, people would have jumped out of the financial heat. Today, we're so used to the rising debt, the rising workload, and the shrinking returns that we accept it. I am standing here like Noah building his ark in the wilderness, warning you. I've been saying for a decade, the rain is coming. The storm is coming. And while I built my boat and offered rooms to thousands of people, the skeptics, the media, the government puppets, laughed, saying, Samuel is trying to scam you. He's just trying to sell a course. Do you really think I need to sell a course? That's the brainwashing talking. I'm doing this because I care about legacy and I want to be on the right side of history. I pay millions in tax, but I also use completely legitimate, HMRC-approved strategies to mitigate that tax, and I want to share those strategies with you. They talk about me in Parliament because I'm teaching what they don't want you to know. They bash my unregulated courses, yet my academy has an 86% success rate of people doing deals and making money within the first year. Compare that to a university degree that costs £40,000 and has a tiny employment rate in that specific field. It's time to use your brain. When the BBC says, don't invest, but all the rich people and banks are aggressively investing, you have to wake up. When the banks refuse you a loan for property investment but happily approve one for a gambling trip to Las Vegas, you know it's a rigged system. They want you in debt, they want you working hard for their money, and they want you saving so they can use your capital to get rich. The only thing you can do is make sure you are okay and make sure your family is okay. And then, and only then, you can help others. The offer is simple, get on the boat. I'm running a free online webinar right now where I am going to be training and walking you through the exact, step-by-step strategies the wealthy use to get into property without being clobbered by these taxes, even if you don't have capital to start. Once you see the path, it's like beating a level in a video game, you can rinse and repeat it forever. Click the link in the description right now. If you choose to listen to the fear and stay on the flooded land, I can't help you. But if you're ready to have your eyes opened and claim your financial independence, then I will see you on the training. Stay safe.